Okay, let's do this. Hello, my name is Coco. I am from New York City. I'm 26, and I chose this filter because it's the only one that I'm familiar with, and I've always loved being a Toy Story character. So that's that. So I'm going to answer some of these questions. So, what are my general thoughts and feelings about the internet? My general thoughts and feelings about the internet is that it was meant to be used as a tool for people, but it has turned into this monster that has become something that people spend more of their time being entertained by than actually using it as a tool. And thus, I believe the internet is deteriorating society. Number two, can you recall your earliest memory of using the internet? So yeah, I grew up in a time before the internet was something you were just able to log on to. So the first time that I was familiar with the internet was the AOL 8.0, 7.0, whatever CDs that you would get in the mail. And I remember just plugging in or putting the CD into the CD drive on my computer, hooking up my cord, my telephone cord into the computer, and just a bunch of noises, and then being able to jump on AOL and jump on some group chats. And yeah, that was my first memory of the internet or using the internet. Number three, how old were you when you first made a social media account? Did you feel pressured to create an account? So the first social media account or website that I remember joining, which may not necessarily be seen as a social media account now, would be LiveJournal. Once again, dating myself a little bit, but it was just this kind of forum platform. But the first time that I would say that I joined like an actual, what most people would consider a social media platform would be MySpace. And was there pressure to join? Not that anybody was beating me up per se, but I think everybody was on MySpace and you could create your own background. It's a very individualized experience. And yeah, so I guess there was a little bit of like social pressure, but yeah. If you have an Instagram account, what year did you create your account, and do you think you will keep your Instagram forever? So I was I believe one of the first adopters of Instagram, or not too far from it. So whenever Instagram was released ish, not like release, but like once people started being aware of it, that's when I joined in. So that was just, taking pictures of food for the most part. And then that kind of gradually changed into more elaborate things. And as far as will I keep my Instagram account forever? Most likely not. I do feel as if the age of social media is coming to a decline just because people are realizing that it is not the best place to be living your life. So I would like to believe and have faith that most people will get off. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I think that eventually it will just be something that I once had, but don't really find much value in it. So yeah, I think I probably would leave. What are some positive and negative aspects of using a face filter? Some positive is that, you can kind of be yourself without having to care too much about how you look, because the filter already makes you appear in a different light. So some negative aspects, I don't really see much of any negative aspects. If you could add all the hours you've spent on social media, what number do you think it would be? Would you consider it time well spent? I spend a lot of time, or used to spend a lot more time on the internet, and I've actively been trying to spend less time. But I do know that the more I have Instagram on my phone and I decide to engage within Instagram as far as like posting and things like that, my number of minutes, hours increase because I just want to always be aware of what's happening. But in total, I don't know, probably like a few months. Probably if you added up all the minutes and hours that I spent on there, probably a few months, hopefully not a year. But a time well spent, probably not. I'm sure that I could have figured out how to solve a lot of the world's problems if I wasn't on the internet or on Instagram as much. Why do you think we do scroll or fall into the habit of endless scrolling? Because we like images, people like to see things, and because it's also that random option that you'll see something interesting. So that's what we've kind of been conditioned to do. And now, as far as doom scrolling, I think it's just more, it's something we just are in the habit of scrolling. And now we're in the habit of doom scrolling. So in order to get off the habit of doom scrolling, you have to get off the habit of scrolling. What is an experience you've had on the internet that you'll never forget? An experience I had on the internet that I'll never forget. I feel like it's mainly forgettable. I'm trying to think there's like something like an event that occurred on the internet that was like monumental or huge. I think just like Twitter. Twitter was really interesting when that first really began to pop off. Uh, there wasn't an actual moment, but I just remember it being a really cool time when I was engaged within it, when like there would be some sort of cultural event happening and you just kind of jump on Twitter while watching the cultural event and kind of see who has the best jokes or talk about it to your friends. So that was, I think that was one of those were one of the benefits or one of the highlights of the internet for me. What is an experience you had on the internet you wish you could forget? All the killings. I think not that I've really seen any of them, but when there was I guess it's still happening now, but when initially there were videos of people getting murdered by the police or by whoever, and they were put on the internet by accident or, I don't know, to reveal what was really happening in society. I think I might have engaged with one video, but quickly realized that those kind of images and those kind of ideas or thoughts or images just weren't good to have in my head at all. So I just decided to just stay away from it. So do you think the internet is a safe place? No, I don't think the internet is a safe place. The reason why is there's a lot of bullies that hide behind the internet that feel that they can say whatever they want to. Also, it destroys your train of thought. I believe there's a lot of ADD, ADHD that is caused by the amount of information that we're receiving all the time and that our brains are not used to it or not meant to consume that much. But because we still exist and because we're still able to function in whatever way that we are able to function nowadays, we don't realize the negative effects that it's having on ourselves. Do you think all ads should be banned? If yes, why? If no, why not? Yes. There's no, like, if you really have a necessity for something, you will know that and will go get it. I don't think that, or you will search for it. I don't think advertisements really help you. Well, those are my videos. Thank you for my TED Talk or being in my TED Talk. And I will not speak to you guys ever again.